So the stock market is taking a plunge today. What is going on and where is this headed? This being the global economy, the U.S. economy. Well, first, the obvious. Let's look at this. The U.S. lost its AAA credit rating on Friday. It was downgraded by Standard & Poor's late Friday. The ratings agency also downgraded mortgage giants Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac today. It inspired these mainstream media headlines across the country in response. Markets brace for downgrades toll. How bad will it get? Markets react to debt downgrade. Anxiety shakes global markets was another right there. All of this coming out as a downgrade happened. Leaders try to calm fear in markets. So that's how the mainstream media responded. Now, the stock market has responded too. It's taken a plunge. But how much does this actual downgrade matter? How much of it is a response to what this ratings agency did? Is this really why the markets are plunging? Well, investor and author Jim Rogers says no, that's not really why. And here's his argument.
The United States has not been a AAA credit for a long time. The only people who don't know that, apparently, are Standard & Poor's and Moody's and the U.S. government. The United States is the largest debtor nation in the history of the world. Who cares what the rating agencies say? We all know that it's no longer valid. We don't pay any attention to them. They've been wrong about everything for 10 years.
So why is it causing such big news or headlines, if you will, waves there, if no one really cares what the agencies say? How important, how significant is this really?
It's not causing any news to me. I could care less. If I see you have to have something to report, I know it's a weekend and things are slow. Who cares? I wouldn't pay any attention to it. There must be better things to report than this. Everybody knows that the U.S. is the largest debtor nation in the world. This is not news. This is old news.
But what about it being a safe haven? I mean, a AAA, it has had that position for a long time, making U.S. Treasuries, for example, a safe investment. What would that mean for investors? Will markets be reacting to this? It's not a safe haven anymore, according to these ratings.
Miss, 3 years ago, Standard & Poor's and Moody's said that subprime loans were AAA. They had hundreds of subprime loans that were AAA. They said that AIG was AAA until the day it went bankrupt. They said Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac were AAA until the day they went bankrupt. Please, these people have never been right. Why do you pay attention to them? I don't know any investors, any real investors who pay any attention to these people anymore. What effect will it have on the Asian economy? None. None whatsoever. All the Asians already know that America's got problems. All Asians are already moving out of U.S. government bonds. Everybody in Asia knows that.
Okay, let's move away from the AAA rating then. Let's go to this is the plunge that we've been seeing very recently. This has been the sharpest since 2008, and it does bring back memories of the lead up to the financial crash in 2008. Do you think there's going to be a second global recession?
Oh, absolutely. We never got out of the first global recession. Unemployment in America is still higher than it was in 2008. The American debt has skyrocketed and gone through the roof. America's in worse shape now than it was before. America spent a lot of money, and the people who got that money are better off. But the overall situation is much worse.
Okay, going back to the agencies, I just want to ask you, you dismissed the agencies, but they do affect a country's borrowing costs, right? Surely that's got to mean something.
Miss, as I said, anybody who pays attention to S&P and Moody's is wasting their time. AA+ is not the end of the world. Even single A is not the end of the world. Many people invest in single A bonds and triple B bonds.
So what is the end of the world then, ratings-wise?
Eventually, the U.S. will default. There's no question. We will either pay people back in worthless money, we will inflate it away, we will change the rules, we will put on exchange controls. Eventually, the U.S. will default.